Hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a card using some more of the Altenew February 2026 release. I'll have a link to the release in the description box below the video. I'll have a link to a previous video I did last week using some of this release, and I'll have more coming as always. This time I did some watercoloring on die cuts, Splatter of course, pulled out an oldie but goodie, and yeah, had a lot of fun. Pulled out my metallic watercolors too to add a bit of shimmer while I was at it. Everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps keep the lights on, keeps my heaters running, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making this card. So I started with the Easy Arrangement Antique Leaves layering die set. This is one of the creative cuts. You could do it as a subscription, or it's available for individual purchase. And like Altenew's, like keyhole die sets, there's pre-printed guides in the packaging, layering, etc., etc. It's all done. It's all done for you. That said, I ain't doing any of that. Not for this card. So I have that die set, and then this is one of the oldie but goodies. This is the little bright bloom layering die set. And I die cut the floral bits and then some of the leaves from that antique leaves set just from some cheap watercolor paper. My go-to, like Strathmore cheap stuff. Because yeah, I had a bunch of scraps of it, so I die cut the scraps. So I laid out all my die cuts onto one of my grip mats, and then to color them, I'm going to use the Deep Muse watercolor compact. These two compacts that Altenew came out with a couple months ago. 3 months ago, whenever it was, y'all, whenever, somewhat recently. I used in a bunch of videos. I really like these. I like them a lot. And I'm using my Petal Palette. Any non-porous surface will work as a palette, I will say though. Now that I've been using my Petal Palette again, that porcelain surface just, I do like that the color doesn't beat up funny on it like it does on some of my other palettes. Anyway, put all my colors on there, and then I'm just gonna literally just slap color on. I've super sped this up in editing. This still didn't take that long. I started painting, and then because I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, because I'm gonna add splatter, all these things, and I was like, wait, I was gonna add shimmer to this, so I'm using the Altenew's little metallic set of watercolors, which most of the time I use these for splatter because all these different colors I can use to add shimmery splatter. However, this time I'm just going to add bits of it here and there to these watercolor die cuts. So with metallic watercolors, unlike your traditional watercolors, like the other the little compact I was using, those you can just get immediate color payoff with a wet brush. Metallics, you need to like soften them or work them up a bit. So I added water and like really swirled my brush in it for a bit to work up that color, kind of break up a bit of that binder, and then get my color and shimmer. And then I just put a bit onto this palette, and then I'm going to go right back to watercoloring. So for my little bright blooms, I'm using the like pinky reddy shades, and then I'm adding the little bits of shimmer. And the shimmer is subtle. That was my intention, even though I like to add everything but the kitchen sink. I do try at the end with my like flashlight to try and show because it's subtle, because I would just paint on the watercolor and then I would just kind of drop in some of the metallic watercolor while it's still wet and then just let it dry. And that's it. And yeah, literally that's it. This was simple, honestly. One of the funnest ways to kind of play with water, and it doesn't have to be specifically like a watercolor palette. I've shown this with like Altenew's fresh dye inks, watercolor really nicely as well. You can just smush them onto a palette and paint with them. And with die cuts, it's so fun because you're not worrying about like the whole background. You're not worrying about stamp lines or anything like that. It's like just add color. No different than if you were going to add color with ink blending or, like using your blending brushes and inks, or like smushing inks, or like pressing, because you could press your die cuts into your ink pads. However you want to add color to your die cuts. I encourage people, those that want to get into watercolor but are very overwhelmed and intimidated by it, die cut little bits of watercolor paper and then just add some color. It's fun. And when it's all said and done, it's always going to look like a hot mess, like what I'm doing right now. A lot of it looks like a hot mess, but these are all just sort of random pieces, and then it's all going to come together. So I just kept working my way through. I was mixing the greens and the yellows, and I was even adding some of the red shades in onto some of these leaves, just for funsies. And all of these leaf bits look extra funny because they are, they've got all those little extra keyhole bits so that you can layer them as the guide suggests. I just left those in place for now. We're going to cut them all off when I'm, ready to start assembling my card front. So I just kept working my way through, adding some water, dropping in some color, and then dropping in some of that metallic watercolor to give everything a little bit of shimmer. And then once I'm done with all of that, I just let this sit and dry, which for me doesn't take very long. Because again, working in my garage, especially in the winter, I've got heaters going, airflow, all that, and it dries pretty quickly. So I let everything dry, cleaned off. I ended up cleaning off my palette, all of that, what have you. And then a little floral, super easy to assemble. You just follow the keyhole and line them up. And that's it. I didn't die cut. There is one more piece for the center that helps like kind of line things up, but I didn't bother with that. Didn't need it. Just stuck the watercolor center on and then the little circle piece to give it that extra dimension, and those were done. And then all the leaves, obviously I'm not following the label instructions, so we'll come back to those in a minute. So what's also from this new release is the Timeless Sands little die set. And I was originally going to die cut the sand for it, this piece I'm painting right now. I was going to do this from like metallic cardstock, but then changed my mind and just die cut it from a scrap of the same watercolor paper and then watercolor it the exact same as everything else. And since that, my grip mat was off to the side full of everything. So I just did this right on my desk because it was quick and simple. Just slapped on a bit of the color, added a bit of that metallic watercolor, and let that dry. And then the base of my Hourglass here, I die cut this from some Desert Storm, like some craft cardstock. And then I blended on some Ginger Root and Umber Shadow inks. These are from the Earth Tones quad. Love them. That is one thing that Altenew, not only do they have like a bajillion ink colors, let's be honest, love it, but they have some of the most unique neutrals, this quad being one of them. And it's just funny because I tend more for like the bright colors and rainbow everything, but the neutrals, I love them. I love them. So I used a mini blending brush and blended on those two colors just to give that more dimension. The glass of this, I just die cut from vellum. And I wasn't thinking I should have adhered the little sand portion first, but I was moving quick enough. I was able to make this work. And because you adhere that, then you adhere the base like on top. I did die cut a second base, as you saw there, and adhered on the back just to give this a little extra strength, because this is going to get popped up on top of a bunch of die cuts. So I adhered those, and then, yeah, when I went to adhere the sand, I was like, ooh, but I was like, the glue hadn't fully dried, just so I could tuck it right in there where it needed to be. And then you got this cute little Hourglass, and I don't know what, I would love to have an actual. I've got little ones, like come in like board games, but I would like a real, good hefty like wood and glass Hourglass. I don't know why. I used to play with those a ton as a kid. Anyway, for my background, I used the Traces of Yesterday 3D embossing folder, and I ran a A2 size panel of white cardstock through with that, and then I trimmed it down to about 3 3/4 by 5 inches, just slightly smaller than A2 card front. My original plan was to leave the background white and just have all that texture from the embossing folder. But then I started kind of laying everything out, and I was like, you just stopped noticing the background. And I loved how that embossing folder, it's got the different like timepieces and like kind of clockworks and whatnot on it. And yeah, you just couldn't see it once I started laying out all these pieces. And I was like, I want them to stand out a bit more. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed Shattered Shell, which is the lightest ink shade in that Earth Tones quad. And I am going to go direct to paper with the ink pad to enhance some of this embossing from the embossing folder. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. This will dry back a bit. It'll soften a little bit and lighten up a little bit. So, and again, I'm going to be adding splatter and all those die cuts, all the things. So I just did a light swirling motion. I wasn't pressing like really hard with that ink pad. So it was picking up more of just the raised details. And I was much happier with that. So now I can adhere all my little die cuts. I just used liquid glue for this. I super sped this up. I kind of sat and fiddled until, I was happy with all these bits and pieces. I wanted them kind of clustered around and clustered around this Timeless Sands little die cut. So once I was kind of happy with all that, for that die cut itself, I did put some thin foam adhesive on this one half of it because again, I've got all those layers of the other die cuts, and yeah, and then I was able to hide one little bit too behind the sand there because you don't want to put adhesive on vellum because it shows and it's not pretty. So I was able to put that little bit of adhesive and then a little bit of glue, got that popped into place, and then finished off with adhering these last little bits of the leaves and the flowers until I used up every single die cut. So once those were adhered, I put Instant Dimension foam tape on the back of this. This is the regular width, or like thickness. This is the 1/16 of an inch with the 1 inch wide foam tape. Love. So put that on the back, and then I pop this onto my card base, which is more Desert Storm cardstock. So it's a top folding A2 note card, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And then of course we're gonna add splatter to this. So I put this in my splat box, and then I'm going to use the titanium white gouache. So I put that on my palette, thin that down with a bit of water until I get it to a nice splatterable consistency. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to fairly heavily splatter this entire card front with the white gouache because it just adds texture and yeah. I don't know, y'all. I love splatter. I love it. And it especially is nice too if you do have any like little ink smears or, something where it shouldn't have been or what have you. Splatter distracts the eye and then you don't notice it. Didn't really have that on this card, but that's one of the reasons I loved splatter so much because the amount of times I did have, a fingerprint or a smear or whatever. And it was like, don't want to redo it, add some splatter. Then we're good. Anyway, after the white, I am going to add a little bit of black. So put black gouache on my palette, thin that out. Much lighter hand with this. I'm not covering this entire card front with the black splatter. Just a little bit, just a reasonable amount of black splatter. So put that on there, set this aside to dry. And then for my sentiments, I'm using the One Go solid sentiment strips, the original. There's a press plate and there's a die set. Altenew's released 2 other press plates so far with different phrases that match up with that original die set. I've used them in many videos. And I've got the press plate in my BetterPress. And then I just have a scrap cardstock because I only need a couple sentiments from this. So I'm not going to bother inking up the entire thing. And I'm going to ink the press plate up with the Umber Shadow Fresh Dye ink. Another thing I love about Altenew's fresh dye inks, they are perfect for the BetterPress. Used in many videos. If I remember, I'll link to my BetterPress playlist. I've got a bunch of videos because I just cannot get enough of press plates. So, I had my cardstock taped to the clear plate. I inked up the press plate, ran that through my Platinum 6 machine, and then that pressed that into the white cardstock. Wiped this off. It's another reason why I like using like fresh dye inks or just any like water reactive ink with press plates because it's the easiest thing to clean off so I don't have to like muck around for very long. So I wiped off my plate And then I use the coordinating wafer die to die cut those sentiments. So just line those up and then die cut them. And then I've got one for the outside of the card and one for the inside of the card. So the one on the outside, I'm going to put more just thin foam tape that I had trimmed down so that I can line that up and pop that into place on the card front. And then on the inside of the card, I've got the sentiment, and I did die cut a couple more scraps with the leaves from the Antique Leaves die set, and I just watercolored them with doing the exact same thing that I did at the beginning. So just to give the inside that little extra something. So I ended up adhering them to the sentiment with liquid glue, and then used my little micro tweezers to hold everything in place and get that lined up so my fingers weren't in the way. Just like so. It's got that adhered. And then as my final embellishment, I'm using some rose gold stellar sequins. I mentioned this in a previous video. I just poured all of them. They come individual, like the whole pack has like 6 different sizes that are packaged individually within that pack, which is very nice. I really like that. And then I took all of them and dumped them into a container. And as you can see, I like dumped them right out. I dump them out and I pick out, dig through and pick out the sizes. And it really does just appeases my inner magpie digging through the pile of sequins. I don't know, man. It's fun. So I adhered the sequins in place with little dabs of liquid glue. And then I always just kind of press them down, and let them sit till the glue dries. And this card is complete. So we've got the shimmer and the splatter. And I'm going to show here with my flashlight. It was difficult to capture this on camera. You can kind of see it on the sand in that hourglass right there. There's that little bit of shimmer from the metallic watercolors, and then like the flower centers. Like it's there. Very subtle, but it gives it that little extra something. So that was my finished card. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'll have links to everything in the description box below. You can expand it and check it out if you are interested. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton, and I really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!